I have two questions about the techniques. The first one is it's important to be self-discipline. I mean, some depending on the technique, they tell you have to meditate twice a day, half an hour every minute. And the other question is that nowadays there are many techniques.
Yeah.
And sometimes we are jumping from one to another one.
Yeah.
For example, here there are many satsangs, many teachers, many. Is it good? Or also, there is some point that you have to focus on one and.
Let's go to the second part first.
Okay.
Should we focus on one, or can we just one day do a bit this, one day do that, one day do the other? Learn to feel what is the most natural for you, the most natural way to approach. Learn to listen to your heart and not listen to what everybody else is telling you. Because everybody who is on a spiritual path, they invariably will tell you, this is the best and the highest and the straightest, and you should go that path. It's just more of the usual human nonsense. There is no such thing. When what you are practicing, if what you are practicing helps you to connect with yourself, then this is really the highest and the best. That doesn't mean you have to now choose one single technique and after that you are damned for the rest of your life to just go on and on and on with that. But still, learn to feel out honestly, how am I going about it most naturally? From myself, how I feel, and not from what all the people put in my mind. It doesn't matter at all what you are doing, but it helps if you have a certain way to go about it and you keep with that, because gradually, if you use the same tool again and again, it's getting easier and easier. But your approach may also include that you do different things. But then maybe you just include something and combine it with the way you're anyhow approaching. And then after some time it may also happen something else comes along and it feels okay and you include it. After some time you feel, no, it doesn't help, you drop it. But learn to listen to yourself and not what people tell how you should go about it. This is the best way. All those people who want to impose on you, this is the way you have to go, then you have a right to doubt them. It's sort of like you can create your current, and that current can include different aspects. And if you like to do different things, you can do different things. But not today I'm doing a bit this, another day I'm doing a bit something else, and then I'm going to that satsang, so we'll do this. Even if you try something new, try to somehow join it with what you are doing. Include it. Because if you just go on for trying a bit this technique, trying a bit that technique, it becomes another entertainment. In the first moment you try it may give you a bit of kick. But if you keep on and on doing it, then the usual resistance will come again. And somehow or other, if you always think, oh, it doesn't work, I'm doing something else, then you never face your resistance. Then you just try to squeeze out some little spiritual kicks here and a bit there and a bit there, and it becomes just a subtler type of entertainment. Invariably, if you start to practice then sometimes you may be very enthusiastic and you feel, it's doing something, I'm getting somewhere, I'm getting deeper. But then the personality comes and reasserts itself and creates all kinds of obstacles. And one is that you start to feel, my practice, it doesn't bring me anywhere, I should do something else. And if you always immediately then drop it because of that, then it's like you always go a bit deeper, and then if that resistance comes, you drop it again and try somewhere else instead of gradually confronting that and see it's exactly that thing that creates all those resistances that we have to somehow work on. Now, you asked whether there should be discipline. Whether you should half an hour, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Also that you learn to feel for yourself. People are very different. And for some it may come natural that they spend lots and lots of time just for spiritual practice. And then that's the good way for them to do. And for others, if they would forcibly do that, then instead of being creative, it would become destructive. But somehow it would create more and more such a strong resistance that at a certain point you just throw the whole thing away. Find out for yourself how much it makes sense that you push yourself a bit and how much it just becomes unnecessary torture. A little bit of discipline is no harm. We need not to follow every little whim of the mind that I could do now something else. And one trick of the mind is also you try to practice. You sit there or whatever you are doing, and the mind goes, ooh, and after that you think, I could also have done something else. Doesn't help then, it doesn't go any deeper. But it's not true. It's not exactly pleasant trying to keep quiet and not being able to keep quiet, but there is no other situation in which you become so acutely aware what's really going on in the mind. When you try to be alert, try to keep quiet, and it's going on, and you are pissed off about it, that it's going on, but there you see really what's going on. Most of the time people have not a clue what's going through their mind. If you ask somebody on the road, now stop and tell me for 5 minutes every thought that goes through your head, it's sheer madness. Jump. You're supposed to be rational, the intelligent species, but what's going on in our mind is everything else but really rational. And if you try to keep quiet and you cannot because something is troubling you and it goes round and round and you know it, you have thought it already 100 times, and you say stop, and you can't stop it, at least there you become really aware of what's going on. So don't get disheartened if you're not having good practice. Still, keep every day some time. How much? Find out for yourself. How much? Find out for yourself that it really makes sense that you discipline yourself a bit, or then you say, no, that's enough. And then there can be periods where it's coming more easily, where it's coming more natural, and you have the time from the circumstances, then you can also increase. And periods where it's more difficult and it's more difficult to arrange, and you can also decrease, but try not to completely give it up. Totally. Keep the touch. And if you feel like you can in between do retreats to get again a bit the batteries charged, the encouragement, and then find your way in your daily life with your job, in your family, or with your friends, wherever you live, with your daily normal life, that you have your time where you simply step out of the current, not busy, not being obliged to do something else, but bring your attention back home to yourself. Be consciously here now, consciously conscious, consciously alive in one way or another. And then learn to relax in that. And then bring your that attitude as good as you can into your daily life, into your activities. Don't make such a big separation between the time you're practicing and the time you're not practicing. Try to remember. Try remind yourself to connect no matter what you're doing. Even if you're externally busy, even if you're with people involved in a conversation, if you become aware how much you're estranged from simply consciously being, at that time, somehow or other, just bring the attention back again, even when you're not officially practicing. Your question answered?
Yeah, thank you.